Hi FPL managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. So we're doing a live stream this morning. We're going to have a look at the team selection, how that all fits in. Perhaps if you're on a free hit, we'll have a quick look at that, how we got on last week, very quickly answer any questions you have. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like, any comments below. In the meantime, guys, so we have a look at the team. I hope you're all set and ready for your team coming up in the next week. Let's have a look at how I got on last week, shall we? So, this is my game week 30 side. So, how we got on last week then, guys? Game week 28, I got 84 points, not too bad. I'm not really unhappy about that. 114 overall rank. Okay, it's not bad, it's not great either. I've got two free hits still to play with, so I'm not in a bad position, I don't think. We wildcard last week, we set that up in order to get through to game week 30, take advantage of those 28 and those 29 fixtures. So pretty happy with the way that sort of panned out so far. And with the exception of Reece James, I think that's the only place that I'll talk about in a minute that I'm a little bit concerned about. But other than that, it was okay. I had quite a lot of points on the bench with Saka, but he was a single game week player. I think you just got to accept that for what it is. Kilman obviously got rested his second game. That was annoying. Willett no returns despite scoring 4 goals on the side. Hwang got an assist. Well, I'll tell you what, absolutely was thrilled about more than anything was Digne missed the first game. Was worried about him because Salah came in and he got 3 points. The fact he kept a clean sheet against Leeds was really pleasing for me. James and Rudiger, I mean, in the end, they only played one game week, and I captained Rudiger, but they still got a decent amount of points for me. So I got that clean sheet, so that was nice. Kilman not playing was a real blow. Target, I regret not going to Burn, but I still think Target offers a slightly more attacking return. So even though Burn picked up the clean sheet, got the assist, little bit, just a little bit unhappy that Target didn't contribute more, but you know what, anything's a bonus from those guys really. So going on and having a look at how we're setting up then for game week 29. Looks alright. I've got obviously a lot of double game week players coming in. Ramsdale comes in, Sarr drops to the bench, so he's got the Leicester and Liverpool games coming up as well. Then we have Matt Target keeps his place, Chelsea away, difficult games, but again double game week, and I think he's absolutely nailed. The good and bad news, I guess, about Rudiger, he's got a great fixture. He's had his rest now. One assumes he's just going to come straight back in the side. For the next few weeks, he should just be nailed back in that side. Now he's kind of moved out of that red zone, they call it, and he's had his rest. Digne, there was a call to make on Digne. Do you play Digne away at West Ham for this game week coming up? Or do you play Hwang, or do you play Kilman, or do you play Ramsey? Villa looked really good. I couldn't really decide whether Villa looked really good or whether Leeds just looked really poor. Perhaps it was a bit of both. But he looks really attacking. Obviously, Matt Cash was the one who got all the put in, got all the returns. But I'm going to stick with Digne. Longer term, he looks good. Saka looks in great form. Tough couple of fixtures, you have to say, with West Ham, with the Leicester game and also the Liverpool game. And Heung-min Son, he obviously got 2 difficult games, but he comes in. I've got Willock in there as well. Double game week, double. Salah's going to have to get the captaincy. I have toyed with the idea of possibly giving it to Son. I think if Son had pens, I'd definitely go Son. But Kane playing up front as pens, Kane's a good option, but just Salah gets more points for that, just that midfield. Do want to keep an eye on the sort of the team sheets, and obviously with Salah, there's a few players that they think are missing for Liverpool, so possibly just need to keep an eye on that. But Broker, he goes up front again against Watford. I am a little bit worried that Southampton lost the last 2 games. He played in the FA Cup for that. I'm a little bit concerned that he will get rotated. Not a lot to play for Southampton. Obviously, Watford look really poor. If he plays, I'm confident he'll get something. But with Adam Armstrong, Che, Walcott, Redmond, I'm not sure whether. I'm unconvinced, but there's nothing I can do about that now. I'm going to keep him in the side. And Kane's an absolute shoo-in for game week 29 with that double. He has to absolutely play. So looking elsewhere, the only transfer I've made this week, and it was completely scheduled. I was always going to roll the 2 transfers this week. Then in game week 30, take those two transfers, bring in perhaps a couple of Leicester players to avoid me having a free hit in game week 30. Those plans have changed a bit. With Reece James definitely out this week, most likely out next week till the end of the month report says, I might as well bring in a player who's got a double game this week and then we're also playing 30 now without taking a hit. So I'll just gain an extra fixture. So Davis has come in. The reason for Davis, Reguilón obviously scored. If he was playing every week, I think, yes, absolutely Reguilón. He just plays. I just think he's absolutely nailed in that defence at the moment for Tottenham. Nothing else really for them to play for as well. So the fixtures look okay. Tottenham just seem to be Jekyll and Hyde there. They seem to be up and down. So not really sure what to make of Tottenham. But Davis comes in just because I think he's nailed. He's got 2 fixtures. And obviously he has that fixture in game week 30. So he, for that reason, comes in. So it's just Digne, really, for me. Rudiger plays, Brogier plays, Digne, Hwang, Ramsey or Kilman. Just I think with the form they're in Villa at the moment, nailed in. He's had his rest already, or when he was out with COVID, if you call that a rest. Digne comes in for me. Hwang brought off fairly early against Watford, got the assist. He's been playing 90 minutes. He has been out recently, so I don't know whether or not. And Kilman didn't play the other night. I assume he comes back in for Bolly, who just 2 games in the space of 4 days would seem quite a lot for him with the amount of time he's had out. And Ramsey's just not an attacking sort of midfielder. I do like him. He's a good enabler, but I just think for me, perhaps you just got to go Digne. Not convinced he'll keep a clean sheet at West Ham, but who knows? Villa on definitely up and upward spiral. West Ham's form a bit sketchy, so perhaps that's a good time to maybe leave Digne in. So going on then to how that will affect game week 30. As it stands then, in game week 30, I would have 9 playing players. Got 2 playing goalkeepers. I'd pick Sarr over Ramsdale. I would have 1 transfer to make. So I don't really want to keep hold of those Newcastle assets beyond game week 30. Their fixtures aren't great. I definitely want to keep the likes of Salah, Rudiger, Broja, Hwang. Wolves' fixtures look still good as well, as do Son and Keynes and Davies. So the only players I do want to take out, even though their form is good, I do think is that Newcastle players. So the options would be taking Target and Willock out. Money's not really a problem for me at the moment. I've got a fair bit in the bank. And then it's a chase of, do I bring Maddison and Amati? And they have so many games to still rearrange that I think it's just a good... It makes absolute sense to bring them in. We may know a little bit more about any doubles that are happening in game week 31 and 32 by the time game week 30 deadline starts to pass. So this may change, but the plan is for 4 points, I can definitely bring Maddison in. And then it'll be a case of Amati. And do I take the 4-point hit for Amati? I think if I learned that there was going to be a double game week in game week 31 or 32 for Leicester, and they do have games to arrange, they look good to progress in the Conference League, you'd say. So possibly more rearranged fixtures will come for them later on the season. But I just think, Amati Maddison, bringing in a Leicester asset, especially when they've got such a nice fixture at home to Brentford in game week 30, just seems like the obvious choice. So that would be the plan at the moment. I don't know. The only question I would have, if nothing else changes, is do I take a hit for Amati or bring in Maddison? Which one do I bring in without taking a hit? Do I take a hit to bring the other one in? If I knew that those fixtures were going to double up, then I'd absolutely bring him in for a hit. I think it'd be totally worth it. But there you go. That is my game week 30 plans. I therefore would carry through 2 free hits for the rest of the season. So the whole idea of doing that wild card was to try and avoid free hitting in game week 30, which I think I'm absolutely up there to do at the moment. So I think I'm fairly safe with that. So when am I going to use my free hits then? It's a good question. I say I would definitely be looking to use my hits. Again, it will really depend on the fixtures, but I think game week 33 looks like an obvious candidate and a good choice, and game week 36 is the other one. At the moment, it would seem an obvious time to do it, but that will all change. The fact that I'm going to stay quite flexible for the rest of the season, I quite like that idea. And I took my wild card at a time when I was able to take the doubles and then also sort of negotiate that game week 30. That was quite good. So that is the plan then, guys, for game week 30. I know we released a free hit video earlier in the week, so I just want to have a quick chat about that. So if I bring that up, the wildcard, so it's not wildcard's free hit video. Pickford in goal just because he has that double. I'm not suggesting for a minute I really trust Everton all that much, but they have so much to play for. You'd hope there's some sort of reaction from Everton, and Lampard would demand that after the Tottenham game. But you would have... well, the question comes in to say, hi, would you do a -4 to Rudiger to Robertson? That's a good question. Would I do a -4 to Rudiger to Robertson? I think you're potentially gaining the extra fixture with Robertson. How confident are you that Robertson's going to play both games? With Tsimikas there, is it a potential for Robertson not to play both games? If he doesn't, then Rudiger at home to Watford looks like at home to... Who have they got? So Chelsea have got a good fixture this week, haven't they? I think the Chelsea, they just look like they have a really nice fixture. I think I'd have to go no. I don't think I would. I like Liverpool's fixtures, but I don't think it's worth taking the -4, especially when both players do not play in game week 30. So yes, they've got Newcastle at home, haven't they? So I like that. I don't think I would take a 4-point hit. But if you think Robertson's definitely going to play both games, you know what, that could pan out for you. I definitely think keeping Rudiger, if there's another option, I'd rather keep both. But I know obviously they're going to be both quite expensive. Cancelo or Lamptey? Wow, that's a difficult one. Lamptey obviously got the double game week fixtures, hasn't he? Cancelo's just such a good player, isn't he? I think Lamptey's got... I'd always choose a double game week player, I think, over a single game week player. Cancelo you would thought would definitely play. Man City. Brighton obviously difficult. They've got a difficult one. I'd have to go... I think I'd probably go Lamptey. He saves you money as well. But then I would want Cancelo less of the season. If it's a choice between those two, difficult one. Lamptey saves you money. What else are you going to do with it? I don't think I'd change it. I think if I wouldn't necessarily be taking Cancelo out the side right now. If I know he's going to play, I wouldn't be. If it was a case of bringing one of them in for just this game week, if there's anyone I'd be bringing in, I think it'd be a Tottenham defender. So Cancelo or Lamptey, if that was a straight choice between those two, I think I'd have to go Cancelo, just because I'm not sure about Lamptey's minutes. I'm not sure about Cancelo. Cancelo should play, you would have thought. I'd potentially go Cancelo then. But let's go back to the free hit side. Thanks for the questions, guys. So free hit side, yeah, we put 3 Everton players in there. I just think their fixture against Wolves obviously great result midweek. Can't really sort of take away the fact that they didn't have a great result against Crystal Palace the other day. Everton's home form, remember their home form has been a lot more impressive than their away form. Only Manchester City struggled to score past them in the end, but they got there. So I would definitely go King Pickford. With Charleston up front, we had a conversation about that. Possibly you could go Jimenez, or you could even go Calvert-Lewin, because he would be on pens. So possibly now we know he's back, that would be an option. I think definitely bringing those 3 Tottenham players in for the double is an absolute no-brainer, and you've got to have those 3 Liverpool players in. The original one had Van Dijk in, but there's rumours that he's missed training, so he won't be in there. So we've moved Robertson in. That makes the cost of it a little bit more expensive. So start Weghorst or Thiago Silva. Well, is Thiago Silva definitely going to play? That's the question I thought. Whereas Weghorst, who is Weghorst? Fixture against Burnley. Let's have a look. Thiago Silva normally will play pretty much every week, won't he? Let's have a look at who Burnley have got. Away at Brentford. Ooh, that's tempting, isn't it? Obviously, 2 different. If it's just a choice between those 2, I would say if Thiago Silva plays, he's got a good chance of getting a clean sheet. If he doesn't start, he's not likely to come on. So I would start with Thiago Silva and put Weghorst sub on the bench. So you're almost, there's no such thing as a guaranteed clean sheet, is there? But Thiago Silva, yeah, I'd start him. If he doesn't play, then you know Weghorst is coming on. So I think I would, if I knew both were starting, I think I would go Thiago Silva. I just think Chelsea got a good chance of having a clean sheet in that game. So there you go. I like Weghorst though. He looks a really good player. So going through the rest of this, then you've got your 2 Newcastle players, Willock and Target. You have to make some concessions with the side. You've got Salah, Son, Kane, Trent and Robinson. You've got a lot of money swishing around in here. So it looks like a really nice side, to be fair, for a free hit for 29. I'm not sure many of us will be free hitting, but like I put in a video last Saturday, actually it's possibly a good time to free hit as a complete differential. You got Hwang on the bench, you got some cheap options on the bench, but you have got cover if any one of these players suddenly did not play. But I like this side. The only worry I have with those Liverpool defenders, I still think you do have to have them in, is that Trent and Robertson, Robertson, do they both play both games? The Predator, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. Nice to have you on board, The Predator. Would I play Weghorst, Cornet or Kilman? Whew. Wow, it's a good question. For Weghorst was on pens, I'd rather go that. I think Kilman away at Everton. Oh, that's a difficult one, isn't it? You've got Rudiger too. Okay, so you've got Rudiger. Yeah, Rudiger's a good choice for me, I think. You could say you'd be doubling up on that Chelsea defence. I don't mind doubling up on that Chelsea defence, if I'm honest. Don't mind. Why have you got Keane? This is for a free hit side. Okay, the Maestro. This is not my side, so I would not have Keane in for anything other than a free hit side because he's got a double this week. That's the only reason I'd have him in. My side, I would not have him in long term. Absolutely not. So Weghorst, Cornet or Kilman. I'm going to say Kilman because I like that Everton defence. So I like that Wolves defence. Weghorst, good player. Away, Burnley don't score many. Brentford, away at Brentford, I don't think that's easy. So there you go. So I think on the bench as well for your free hit side, you would have Hwang, you'd have Dan Burn, who's obviously playing every week. And you've got Brownhill as well. Oh no, it's not a wildcard side, it is a free hit side. Okay, guys. Do you wear glasses? I'm sure. So. Yes, I do wear glasses. The Predator. Do you want me to put my glasses on? There you go. So, yeah, no, Keane wouldn't be in there for any other reason. I certainly wouldn't bring him in long term. I don't trust those Liverpools. But for a complete free hit side, I'd have Richarlison and Keane in there. And you've got enough cover on the bench. I don't expect Brownhill to be playing. I don't expect Burn to play, but you have got some cover in case one of those other players doesn't play. I mean, Kulusevski, would he keep playing every week now Moura's back? You suspect with a double game week he will get some time. Anyway, okay, so just a couple of minutes before deadline, guys. I hope you've all sorted out your sides. Don't forget, we're doing a free hit video coming out later on. I'll post it today, and there'll no doubt it's going to be a popular week to free hit, I think, in game week 30. My plans are still to get through that without free hitting. So we'll do a draft free hit this today. We'll release it later on, then possibly have a look at it again later on before the deadline. But good luck. Hope you get your transfers in, guys. Best of luck with Thiago Silva or Weghorst, whichever one you're going for in the end. But I'm going to sign off now, guys. Been a pleasure talking to you, and I shall speak to you soon.